She's 72, turning 73, and she's killing it on the runway.
Getting ready to do a swimwear photo shoot soon. I'm looking forward to that. And this young girl was behind me and stepped on the train.
Ooh.
Yes, of the gown in New York Fashion Week. My wig flew flying off my head. Boom, and I'm running after trying to... It just took over Facebook. They said, "Oh my God." I said, yeah. And I'm a very religious person. And I said it was only by God's grace. It didn't.
Absolutely. Influencer Insight shares the battles, stories, successes of models, influencers, and entrepreneurs as they find the balance of being influential leaders today while creating long-lasting impact for the future. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another session of Influencer Insights, where I have Carolyn Philips from Baltimore, Maryland, Jared, joining me today. She's a mom. She's 72, turning 73, and she's killing it on the runway. She's got a daughter and a grandson, and she's been married for over 33 years. So we're really glad to have Carolyn come on and share her story, talk about modeling, talk about the industry where it's at, and just, give some tips as people are coming and joining and wanting to get into the industry. So welcome, Carolyn. Thank you to have you.
Thank you.
So do you want to give us, I gave you a little recap there of where you're from, but do you want to kind of
yes,
more in depth for us?
I live in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm originally from Howard County, Maryland, but I've been living in Baltimore for 20 some years.
Nice.
I'm retired from 911. No, it's
wow.
a 911 operator for 31 years. I've been gracing the runway for 40 years and having a good time.
What made you decide to jump into that?
For some reason, growing up, everybody just knew this was going to be who I was going to be. I did too. From even in my yearbook, it has, what are your plans after graduation? Model. And that's exactly what I am today. Yes.
Models, join us on Facebook in our group where we've got all kinds of support and training you need to become a better model today. Check the link in the description.
A model. I just had that passion of dressing and always wanting to look good in everything that I wore. So I attended two top modeling schools and graduated from both of them. And from that point on, I started really an agency, a group of models. We got together and formed a group for ourselves. And that's really basically how we got our start. And we just traveled all over different places and did shows. Yes. And it was 12 of us in the group.
Tell me a little bit more about these shows. Was it stuff that you just did auditions, or did you have your own shows? Or
well, it was like a lot of it mostly was like kidney foundations. Back then we started with volunteering. Yes.
Right.
For kidney cancer, whatever, volunteer. Yeah. That's Macy's and things like that. Yeah. That's what we did.
That's so cool.
What we did. Yes.
How many of your friends are still doing that, or do you know any of them yet, or keep in touch?
I keep in touch with two of them, but they're sickly.
Oh, okay.
They're sickly. Yeah. I'm basically out of the whole group. I'm the only one that's still really modeling.
Still rocking it.
I'm the only one that's still in the group modeling. Yeah.
Well, that's
a lot
okay.
of them just gave it up, but I kept it going.
Yeah. I think that's a really good story to tell, though, right? Because, a lot of people, even if they're young, they get into their mid-20s and they're like, I'm too old to do this anymore, or it's not working out or whatever, right? But it's about just continuing on, right? So
exactly. And the issue here also is don't give up.
Right.
Because it's a lot of times through these 40 years was not easy. And I want to just say, you know what? I'm done. I'm not getting the castings that, I need to get. I'm not being recognized. I'm just going to give up. But I didn't.
Pressed on.
Yeah. Nope. Didn't. Kept it going.
Do you have any idea how many castings you've been to over your career?
No way.
Not even a chance.
No, not even. No.
What kind of distance have you traveled to? Like, you've been able to do everything in Baltimore, Atlanta area, or is it?
I have been on a cruise ship, fashion show, that was 2 years ago.
Oh wow!
It was amazing. 7-day cruise fashion show. And it was, we did different islands. It was amazing.
So
Absolutely amazing. So that's been recent. I really enjoyed
cool.
that.
Did you
Uh,
do a runway on the ship, or did you do it at the
it
stops,
was,
or?
no, it was on the ship. Yeah, it was
Wow.
on the ship. And the ship was packed. And the show was just, it was just, when I walked out, I said, oh my God, where did all these people come from?
How'd y'all get on the boat?
Yes, it was, and we flew out. I went to Florida and then we cruised out of Florida. It
Okay.
was really not, the show was just phenomenal.
That would
Phenomenal.
have been awesome. Pina coladas
Phenomenal.
and fashion, eh? That's like
Yes. Yeah, it was phenomenal. Yes.
cool.
Yes. I would love to do that again.
Yeah, I let me know
Yes.
when that's happening, because I would totally
Yes.
come. That's
Yes, I
pretty
would
cool.
love to do it again.
Cool.
And
So that's a
then
recent. Yeah.
that was recent. The Oscar show in LA. That was just out of, I want to say, out of the whole period of time that I've been modeling, that was number one. That was top in my career. In my career,
Sure.
that was number one.
How did you get connected into doing that one?
I believe it or not, I guess because I'm known in the industry. Didn't cast for it. One of the designers reached out and said, "I would like for you to model in the Oscar fashion show for me."
Wow.
And sometimes when you get these invites, it can be scam, because a
Yeah.
lot of the boy, oh my goodness, a lot of times you really have to do your research because these scams that say, well, this show is going to be Paris or whatever, and then you need to send X amount or pay X amount of dollars for this and that. So you really have to do your research. And when I got that and I said to Oscar, I said, okay, you're right. Okay, I know this is a scam.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. The Oscar, okay, that's really huge,
Yep.
huge, huge. You couldn't get any huger. And I said, yeah, I know this is a scam, and I know they're going to do this and want this and want that. I said, I know this is. Turned out, I did my research. It was not a scam whatsoever.
Do you mind if that's a good point? How what did you do for the research to kind of get to
I
figure it out?
I researched the information that was sent to me as far as reaching out to someone. Do you know this person? Is this and also going online and looking up the
Right.
individuals and finding out who they are,
Yep.
and I found out, and then having them call me and talk to me. Then I knew it. Yeah, it was, and then everything that was coming back was positive.
Yep.
Everything back positive. I knew it's the real deal. Yes,
Everything made sense. So
yes, it
that's
made sense. It made sense.
that's
Yes.
awesome.
So, and I didn't
Who
have to cast. So that was just amazing.
so
Absolutely
did
amazing.
you get to work with some world class models, people we might
Yes,
know, or?
yes, all over. Some of them I didn't even know. I
Sure.
knew two, but most of the other models I did not know. But we have connected since I did that show. Yeah,
That's
I
so
didn't know.
cool.
Yeah, because they were from all over different states.
What kind of outfits and styles were there for that?
Couture. The designer that I modeled for had high couture, which was absolutely breathtaking. Yeah, it
Gorgeous stuff. Yeah.
was really nice. Yes.
Huh.
Yes,
That's
and
super
then
cool.
when we had the Oscar parties that we went to, and when I plastered everything, first when I made the announcement on Facebook, it went boom. She's doing the
She's
Oscar.
what?
What? It just took over Facebook. They said, "Oh my God." I said, "Yeah." And I'm a very religious person, and I said it was only but God's grace.
Absolutely.
It's for me, only God,
Yeah.
only Him.
How
And
could that happen otherwise? Yeah.
it was only Him, and everybody was just so. It was just amazing the responses that I got from everybody. And then when I started posting the pictures, they was like, "Oh
Even
my
better.
God." And when I was on the red carpet going into the Oscar party, it was amazing. It was number one. Number
Yeah.
one. Yeah, number
That's so
one.
cool.
And I've been invited to do my next goal, if by God's grace, is I want to do Paris.
Nice. That would be
I was
awesome.
invited, and yeah, I got an invite, and I'm not going to go into specifics with that, but it wasn't what I expected.
Right.
So I said I declined it. I declined. Yeah, I declined.
Fair enough. Got to
Yeah.
take what you can handle too, right? Sometimes.
I declined that one. Yeah.
Sure.
Declined it. Yeah.
Cool. So is runway all you've kind of focused on? Have you done some portrait shoots and stuff like that too?
I do photo shoots. I just went to do makeup editorial for a makeup artist. So I do a lot of photo shoots for designers.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
and which I love, yeah. You know, the photo shoots here. And I got a lot of, I'm getting ready to do a swimwear photo shoot soon coming up.
Cool.
So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
When a designer books you to shoot, if you're in Maryland, do you have to book a photographer? Do they set all that up and you go there?
No, that's all. That's all I do is come with body.
Yeah, do your thing, right? So
Yep, come with body. Yes,
nice.
come with body. And I have a casting Saturday and Sunday this week coming up. This weekend coming up. Yeah.
You got a busy weekend on top of that.
I'm busy, to be honest with you. I'm busy up until I think it's October.
That right, eh?
Yes, up until October.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So good.
Yes.
It's always one of those things where some people just get booked consistently and some people it takes a long time, but that must feel pretty awesome to be.
Yeah, it is. It's great. It's great. It's really great, because I had like slacked off a little when I turned 60. And I went to a casting for Miss America back then when I turned 60. She was doing a fundraiser event, and she was in charge of it. And I went for the casting, and I did the casting. First, took my sister with me. I said, "No, nobody's going to put me on the runway, you know, at 60, right?
Yeah.
You know, 60.
No way it's going to happen. Yeah.
No way it's not going to happen." I said, "But I'm going just for the fun." I had in my mind, I'm going to go just for the fun. Did I not know that I was going to make it? I was going to make it.
You're in.
You're in. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. She was just amazing. Amazing. Yeah. I was in.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So that was great, just to model for her and to meet her. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that another one of those they kind of reached out and found that, or?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
That's
Yes. And this industry too, it's a lot of also your experience and who you know, as we all know. It's you know too, who have seen you and seen your work. It's who you know as well. That's a big thing part of it. Yes. Yeah. That's a big part of it.
Once they've met you once, or they know how good you are to work with.
Yeah, exactly. Then they said, "Oh, you don't have to cast." And that's what I really love, because I've been out there for so long and they know my work and they know what I can do. And that means a lot. That means a lot. Yes. Yes, that means a lot.
Wow, that's awesome. So good to hear that amount of success and stuff, different stages of life. And again, just encouragement to anybody that's doing it. Just keep pushing on, right? So
yeah, don't give up. Yeah, don't give up, because it's beginning to change, as we know. And the age factor now is they're looking more for the mature, older models now. Yeah.
Yep.
Because back in the, you know, as you know, if it's like 60, 50, oh no, 40, 30, no
way.
That was forbidden. Yes.
Yeah.
It was forbidden. Not because you didn't have the experience behind you, but it was that number.
That's right.
That number. And
if you
now
lie a little bit, you might get away with it.
That number. Yes. Change that number. Yes. Yeah. It's not about that number.
That's right. Anybody that's looking at doing this at, you know, any stage, what are some things that you would recommend that they practice or prepare themselves if they wanted to get into the industry a little bit?
And it's a tough industry. It really is. It's a tough industry, as we know, to get in. But they need to research. Don't just let someone tell you, oh yeah, you're gonna make it big and not stick behind your words. Don't say that just because you want them in to make that profit.
Right.
Because that's what this is all about,
Always.
Always the profit of it, not that you're good. It's about that money.
Yeah.
And
What
you
sells?
really have to research these days now to really know who's up and up, who's up and
Right.
up. And if you do have that look, that style, because anyone you can tell you, oh yeah, you're gonna be number one, as long as you're dishing out that money. Yes, they got to really research it, really, really, because I've been down that path when I started. They told me the exact same thing, and I didn't walk one time for the agencies.
That right, eh?
Not one time. Not one time. Back then, not one time. This is why we started our own.
How many, like back then, was it harder to get into an agency, or how did that piece go? Because that's really one of the best ways.
For us as African American women, yes.
Sure, yeah.
That's why we had to venture out and start our own. Yes. Okay. Very much so.
You guys,
yes, very
broke some barriers there.
Yes, exactly. Very hard. Very hard.
Well, no, thank you from everybody else. I think that's a huge thing that you guys did, and and it takes any of those changes in history and stuff like that. We usually celebrate one or two people for that, but it takes a whole group of people stepping up and saying no, right, to make that change. So
to make the change. Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. I think that's a big step forward in our world today.
Yes.
So what are some things that you found a person should be cautious of? I know there's a lot of risk in being more exposed or opening yourself up to shooting and that kind of thing. What are some things that you found is stuff to be watchful for if you're starting out?
It's a lot of people that are not trustworthy in the industry. Be mindful who you're trusting.
Right.
In the industry.
Right.
Don't let your guards down.
Right.
In the industry. Make sure you know that they're up and up in everything that they say and do, even the agencies as well.
Okay.
Get something in writing stating this is going to happen.
Right. These are the boundaries.
These are the boundaries. This is going to happen. These are the boundaries.
Right.
Don't sign anything that you don't know is correct. Take it to someone that does know. A lawyer or anyone that has these, that can read these documents and says, oh, there's a fine line in here, that you did not see or understand before you sign it. You need to look at this. You need to look at it. Because once you sign on that dotted line,
she's over.
You're done. And then if it's exclusive, and you have to model strictly for them. And a lot of young girls are so excited, like I was back then, that would take anything, and because you want to be a model and you want to be on that runway, and you don't even look at the fine lines or anything. You just said, oh yeah, and then just because they're telling you,
let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, and that's it. It really is the truth. Because I was one of them. Yeah,
right.
I was one of them. All I wanted to see was you're gonna select me to walk in the shows, and that's the excitement of being young, and that's what these young models need to look at. And then especially if they're young, then they need their parents to step in and guide them in the right direction.
That's right.
In the right direction. Yeah.
And
there's a lot of things that a parent should be with a young model in this day and age. They should be, yes. That's a must.
Be a part of every decision.
Yeah, that's a must. Yeah, that's a must.
People, we're still we're getting quite a ways into this social media world as well, but I don't think all of the consequences of the decisions of what people are posting or what they do online is fully realized yet either, too, because like if you shoot something one time and it gets posted, like somebody's going to see that forever, right? There's no way around
forever. Forever. Yeah, forever. And they have in their mindset, whatever you want me to do,
I'll do it. I'm
going to do it because you're going to put me up. You're going to put me out there.
Yeah. Have you ran into any bad situations yourself ever where somebody pushed you further than you wanted to, or
No.
just don't even go there?
Nope, don't even go. Nope, not at all.
Good.
Because once I learned that back then that I wasn't getting what I needed because being African American female,
Right.
I had to venture out on my own. So I knew the ins and outs. I had to learn the ins and outs of
Right.
it. What's going to be right, what's legit, what you're not going to do to me, and what I'm not going to do. Yeah, what I'm not going to do.
Set that up early, and then
exactly. Yes.
Good.
And
Those
it's it's things that I'm not the age that I am. It's things that I prefer not to model. It's things that I don't. Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. No, I like that. That's well said. And any age where you're at, if you're not comfortable with it, just pull back, right? So there'll be other work. So
yeah, and a young model now needs to know that you don't have to,
right.
and they're not paying, and they're not paying you, but that does not matter to some of the models,
No, they just want it.
They want to be. They just want it. That's how bad they want it. And I've been in those shoes. Yeah, that's how bad they want it. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's how bad they want it. Yeah. And they have to realize, you are who you are and respect who you are. Don't let someone make money off of you for something that you didn't want to do.
That's right. Preparing for a runway, do you practice walking, or do you?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. You're a pro now.
I was at a show this week, and the models, they was just running around, and it's just like, oh God, I'm so nervous because it was really a sellout.
Right.
And it was packed, and they're standing in line. We're ready to go with one designer ready to go out, and they just, I'm so nervous, and they're back there practicing, and what they're in their designer outfits, and they're practicing their walks and their turns and things like that. And they said, one model said, "Miss Carolyn, are you nervous?" I said, "I've been doing this for so long. Doesn't faze me whatsoever."
Not bothered at all.
And I said, if you focus so much on what you're gonna do, that's when you make you mess up.
Screw up, yeah, exactly.
You're right. I said, because you're back here rehearsing, and when you get out, you're gonna do something totally different.
Right.
Totally different.
Fall flat on your face. Right? Yeah.
Exactly. Totally different. I said, so no. I said, you know what you can do. You know how to do it. Just do it.
Right.
Just do it. And she said, "Oh, thank you so much." They was it. "Thank you so much. That's what I needed. Just do it. That's what you're here for.
That's right.
Just do it. You're a model. Just do it.
Be you."
Yeah. Yes.
No, I like that, and great inspiration to somebody else there too, to just step out and get there done. What's something? So being on the runway and being up in front of people, I think there's a level of pressure maybe that comes with that. But there's always things that people maybe, there's also the glitz and the glamour as well. There's things in the background though that people don't always know though. So what are some things that maybe people don't know about you that go on in your personal life outside of modeling?
Oh my, outside of my modeling. I'm a true believer in the word of God. True believer.
Tell me more about that.
But
started young?
But everybody knows that. Because when I do whatever it is that I do in this industry, He gets the glory. Even my postings on Facebook, He gets the glory. He's in, and some know and some don't.
Right.
But I have when I do a show, I have to pray before I grace the runway.
Yeah.
And now we all do this now. We all get together in a group before we go out.
Cool.
And we have a word, and there are some that do not care to join, and that's their beliefs or whatever, and that's okay. But you always ask if you would like to join.
Right.
And it's up to that individual if they do or they don't. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So
cool.
that's that some people don't and some do. No.
Yeah. your faith journey, did that start from, your parents being young, or did you find that?
Well, I was always I was raised up in the church, and it was always like this. No, by no means. No, 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 by no means. But as I got older,
Right.
as I got older, yes. As I got older, I learned who he was and his word. Yeah.
Did you have one of those people, mockingly call it a come to Jesus moment, right? But just that moment of inspiration when you
The moment, and I knew it was time. Yeah, I knew. Yeah, yeah, I knew. No one else can know it but you, that individual person. That's it. Yeah, and I knew. I knew the time. I knew when. Yeah, when
washed
he
clean?
brought me in, and he couldn't have done it at a better time. Yeah. So I did know. Yes.
Very cool. Do you have a favorite scripture or that kind of thing that guides you in your walk some, or is it?
Songs 23. Yes. So I truly believe I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for God.
And I think sometimes people in the industry, there's always these preconceived ideas of what it is and how it works, and
Mhm.
people see you being flashy and try to present
Mhm.
yourself, which
Mhm.
may seem worldly occasionally, right? But often there's a level of sacrifice in being the person that is up there and being seen too, right? It's kind of a weird way to look
Yeah,
at it, but maybe that's sometimes the same thing that Christ did for us too, right?
exactly. And I forgot to tell you, they're honoring me here in Baltimore on October the 5th.
Wow.
And I'm getting a award for modeling. Yeah. Mhm.
Cool.
So I'm really excited about that. Really excited. Yes. Yes,
What
they're honoring me October the 5th.
how did you get the honor?
They called me, the producers called, and and she said to me, she said, and I know her, and she said, I would like for you to put on your calendar October the 5th. And I said, okay. She
Okay.
said, because we're going to be honoring you as a model at your age and in an industry. And that just blew me away.
No
Blew me
doubt.
away. So they wanted to get to me right away so I wouldn't have something scheduled for that date. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why they called. They said, so can you please put that on your calendar and
Yeah.
save that date because we're going to give you an award for modeling.
That's
Yes.
so cool. Wow.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, the impact you've made.
Yeah, and it blew me, and it's like, oh my God, she said, they've been looking over my history of my modeling and what
Sure.
I've been doing, and they just, yeah, they're giving me an award. Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah. I
That
think that'll
would
be the second after the Oscar.
I don't blame you. Amazing how many of those bad days disappear when you got a good moment like
Yeah,
that, eh?
yes, exactly, exactly. Yes, exactly. And believe it or not, in my coming up in this industry, it's been some bad days.
Sure.
It's been times where I thought I should have gotten the casting,
Yes.
and it's been a lot. Crying, what did I not have or what did I do? But that was the younger, you know,
Hmm.
times coming up. And I would go to them and but in this industry, it's not always about what you didn't do. It's about what they want.
Right.
It's about what they want, not
Right.
about you per se. It's about what they want and what they're looking for. Yeah, and they have an idea what they want and what they're looking for. So I had to learn to grow out of that and said, it's not always, about me. It's about the designers, the producers of what they want. And it had nothing to do with me being a model of my walk or anything. But they're looking for a specific model.
Right.
So,
Right.
but that took a long time for me to get over that.
It's a tough thing.
And yeah, that was a tough one. That just did not sink in right away for me.
How did you come to that conclusion, I guess?
As I got on, when we're young, we just wanted all we want
Right
all of it.
now.
Yeah, and everyone you go to, you're expected to get it. That's in the mindset of us being young.
Yeah.
I want that show,
Yeah.
and I just like you deserve it. But as you get older, you learn. With me, as I got older, I learned that that's not the case. It's not really all about us.
Right.
It's about what they're looking for the runway.
Right.
That's it. Yeah. So now and even now I've gone to some that I went to one like three or 4 weeks ago, and I knew, and I modeled for this person numerous times. And I went to the casting, but I didn't make the casting. And I was okay because I had 5 more after that. So, but I
Right.
was okay because I knew I've worked for her, so she knows my work because I worked for her numerous times.
Yeah.
But I was not what she was looking for that
Can't do
particular show.
nothing about it.
Exactly, I was not what she was looking for that particular show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I let it go. Yeah, I let it go and went on, and I went on my next ones. Yeah, because and I said because and I felt that it was nothing against me. It's that I was not what she needed or wanted for her that particular show she was doing,
That
and I'm
moment.
okay with it. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm okay. Because a lot of the older models are saying, "I cannot believe that you didn't make
How
the
did you pick
casting."
me?
Yeah, she didn't pick you, and you modeled for, but that's not. But I said it didn't. It's okay. I said because apparently at this particular show, I'm not what she needed.
Right.
So
So
I said
how do
yeah, let
you
it go.
what kind of mental framework do you kind of go through? Because that's the hard part. It's all in your head usually, right?
Mhm.
What do you talk to yourself about? Because some people just can't get over it. Like they don't know how to get themselves to that framework of just it's okay,
And
let it go.
I couldn't back then, and I just it just lay down and try to go to bed and sleep and trying to think, did I slip? Did I have the right shoes on? Did I make a mistake when I was walking for the casting?
Right.
Am I the right size? Or I'm not tall enough. Because and a lot of them, I went on that I wasn't tall enough. I didn't have the right look, and I was bald back then. Because I've been bald for going on 29, 30 years now.
Well,
And back then, that was not the thing.
it wasn't accepted. Yeah.
It was not the thing of being bald headed.
Right.
It was not.
Right.
And so I got disappointed a lot because I was bald because of the castings. I was bald headed, and a lot they just weren't using bald models back then. And well, there
Right.
was no really bald models
That
back
wasn't a
then.
thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So I got turned down a lot. And then even as time went on, I started getting castings, and then I started becoming well known as the first, the ball, yes. And I think that's kind of what got me up and running to where I
Right.
am, because I started getting cast, and they said, "Oh, she's the baldy, the bald head model that modeled in the show."
Yeah.
And as I started getting more and more and more castings, because this was my signature now. It's
Sure.
what we call it now. That's my signature. The
Yeah.
bald. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, the bald model. Yeah.
So do you think that most people have an opportunity in the way they, especially today, do they have an opportunity to, no matter what look they have, to just own that piece? Is that a better thing to do than to try and change yourself to make it fit?
The own who you are. The own who you are, because a lot of times I want to walk like her.
Right.
With some of them, with this, model said, or they'll say, my walk is not strong enough, or not this, my walk is not that. I said, you're your own individual person. I'm my own individual person.
Right.
When I had this bald head, I was not going to change and put a wig on because you wanted me to.
Right.
This is who I am. This is who I'm going to always be.
Yep.
You either accept me as who I am, or you don't accept me. But I'm not going to change because of you. And this is what I try to tell them. I said, do you. Don't worry about somebody else, because somebody else is not worrying about you. You do you.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes, you do you. And watch how successful you can become when you do you.
Right.
Yeah, when you do yourself. Yeah, and be yourself. Because they've asked, can you wear a wig? No, and then some shows that I've been in, it was the designer is mandatory, wanted you to wear, and then you do what they want you to do because you're in their show, and that's what I do. I'm being obedient because I'm doing your show, I'm getting paid for your show, I'm going to do what you want me to do. And I have worn a bush wig, but I've only worn a wig twice in this whole time that I've been modeling, and that was because that's what the designer wanted. Yeah. And when I came out on the runway, I had walked the runway. I remember my girlfriend, I'm on the side, and they had came to that particular show, and I had an Afro bush on, and I had walked. And when I came out and started walking back, they didn't even know it was me. And then I turned around, and then when I turned, it was like their mouth was like,
oh my gosh.
oh my God. So that was funny, yeah, because they weren't expecting that. They weren't expecting.
Was surprised.
Yeah, they were surprised. Yeah, but that's only been 2 times since I've done that. Yeah, because I prefer to do me.
Sure. No, that's awesome. It's probably fun just to do something different just for the heck of it sometimes.
Yeah, but that was fun because I just went to see the reactions when I came out, and I got something.
Good for you.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that was fun. And really, we don't have a say when you're selected to do a show. We don't have a say. And it can be an outfit you may not. I would never buy something like this. Or
yeah, exactly.
Never wear something like this.
Not gonna happen.
But no, but
you're doing the show.
You got to do the show. That's what you're there for, to do what they put on you to wear. Yeah. And grace it and sell it. And that's the main point. Selling it.
Sell that thing.
Exactly. Got to sell it.
Do you find that every show you've got some things that you wouldn't ever wear, or is it some shows are a little bit more out there than others?
It hasn't been too many shows that I've done that I would not wear. Yeah, because I love. Cool. Yeah. It's been just, I would say maybe a couple times, but that I personally, it looked good on me, but it wasn't me.
Something you wouldn't do. Yeah.
Exactly. But it looked, and a designer will not put anything on you that they don't think that they can sell.
That's right.
Sell. Yes. So, but it was not me, yeah, but I wore it because it looked good on me, but it was not something that I don't think I would, purchase if I didn't like it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's right.
Yeah.
And you get to have some fun trying something different too once in a while.
Yes,
that's not all bad.
Exactly. Things that they put on me that I thought I would never wear too. That I was like, oh my God, this looks great. Yeah. Something like that.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought I could play this? Yes.
How much, I think you mentioned you'd done some mentoring to some other models. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about that.
I was, matter of fact, I was working for the government. And at the time where I was working at the government, I had, with my group, we would put on fashion shows for lunch breaks, for lunches.
Oh, cool.
Which was really great. We would have spring and summer, fall and winter, 2 shows, a year, which that was just phenomenal. So the recreation and parks in the government came to me and said, would you be willing to teach the young girls, or mentor to them how they can get into the industry, what they need to look for, what they should do, what they shouldn't do.
Right.
Their posture, their poses, and it's a lot of other things that plays a factor, just being a young woman, period.
Right.
And so I did that for a while, which was great. Which was great. Nice. And then at the end of it, we put on a fashion show.
Oh,
for the
cool.
parents to come, and they walked in it.
Was this
Because a lot of it's just not the glitz of getting your makeup done, your hair done, and walking and wearing the designer clothes. It's a lot more to it than that.
That's right. There's work
A
to
lot
it.
more to that. Yeah. That's just the glamour part of it. It's a lot more to it. Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
A lot more. Yeah.
If people only realized, I kind of get a kick out of how many people think that, it's like, oh, you're a model, cool. So that means you do this, right? And they think you're either on a runway or you're supposed to be in some sports commercial or whatever. But it's like there's so many different facets to the whole thing, right? That depending where you want to niche down to, what your look is and what you like doing, right? So
exactly. Yeah. It's a lot more than just the glamour part of it too. You have to your posture, what things that you should wear with your garments. It's a lot, it's a lot more to it than just the glamour part of it. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
The timing, when you go to the castings, what you should do when you cast, what you should wear, what you shouldn't wear at a casting, when a designer is working with you per se, you need to know how to respect that designer's garments, what you
Yes.
shouldn't do with them and what you should do.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. You have to learn.
What do you recommend people wear to castings and that sort of thing?
Well, mostly castings is just all black, and it's that just does that hasn't changed, and I doubt if it ever will, because it gives you that portion of what you look like, and black tends to make you look thinner anyway. So and it gives them a idea of your figure. So a lot of them is the cat suits, which is the all-in-one, or a tank top and leggings. That's basically that's the look. That's the
Pretty
look.
standard.
Standard look, and your heels. That's it. And your face shouldn't be made up. It should be just what you look like as a natural person. Yeah.
Right.
They want to look at the natural part of you. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm.
Everything can be adjusted if they need to. They just need to who you are underneath, right?
Exactly, because they're going to do that anyway when you do the show. So you know that's gonna happen. That's why they want to see a natural you. Yeah, naturally. Yeah, what they're looking at. Yeah.
What's your favorite part about being a part of a show? Do you like the whole thing, or do you like the background stuff, or just the walking piece?
The walking, the walking part of it, and the photographers.
Oh,
the pictures, because the pictures can do a lot for you.
Sure can.
In this industry. Yeah. That's where you get the pictures. Yes.
You're not actually on the runway for all that long, right?
And no, exactly. So you need that you need those pictures. Yes. Yep. Yes. That's one of the main challenges. Yep, you need those pictures. Yeah. So those would be the two tops. Yeah.
Cool.
And then the third would be the people in the audience.
Oh. Like seeing their faces and hearing the cheers.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and how they see you when you come out. Yeah, if they're just looking at something like that, but when they're just giving you the all in all, you're doing your job.
That's right. Make everybody feel good.
Yes, you're doing your job. Yes.
You had any? I don't know if people like to admit that or not, but slips or trips or anything on the runway?
Of course. I wouldn't be a model if I did.
That's all part of the thing.
Something didn't happen. I was in I did let me go back. First, the photo shoot, and they had I was on top of a rooftop when they were doing the photo shoot. And back then they had a wig on my head. And being on top of a roof, on top of a rooftop shooting, the wind and everything. And they were shooting me, and my wig flew flying off my head. Boom, and I'm running after trying to.
Where'd she go? There she goes.
Because everybody's in shock, and I was like, oh. it just, and I'm running trying to get it. And everybody's back and everybody was just laughing so hard. Oh my God, that was the funniest thing. And they
That's
said, no, we
hilarious.
need to take this someplace else because I'm already bald anyway. And they had a wig on it. It just flew right off my head because we're up high and on the rooftop and the wind blew it right off my head.
Way goes.
And then I had an incident in New York Fashion Week where I had a gown on and the train was really long. So a model knows to stay so many feet distance away from you when they're walking. And we were doing the grand finale of the show and coming out. And you have, and that's taught to you also, how many feet you stay away from someone that has a long train gown on.
Sure.
And this young girl was behind me and stepped on the train.
Ooh.
Yes, of the gown in New York Fashion Week and pulled me down like this. And I caught myself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep. And then, these young models today, some of them have such attitude problems, and
really,
yeah, really. And she said she got upset with me.
Oh,
even though it was her fault. And then someone said, well, a model knows how far distance you walk behind a model that has a train. And she said, well, the designer shouldn't have made the train that long. I still remember that to this day.
What?
That's what we said. What? Really? Really? Yeah. And he was really ticked. The designer of, he was ticked. He said, because you're supposed to be professional. Nobody should have to tell you this. You should know it. And even if you didn't know, common sense would tell you, you don't just walk up on somebody that has a train.
Duh.
You know you're going to step on it. Yeah. But
good luck with the industry, eh?
Yeah. She blamed him. Yep. She blamed him. She said he shouldn't have made the train that long.
Goodness sake.
A lot of things like this happen. Trust me.
Oh, man.
And a lot of attitudes come flying out the door. And I did a show the other day, and we're walking on cement, but we're just doing a rehearsal. And we're walking on, and then it's gravel, and then not cement, bricks in the gravel.
Yep.
And when you're wearing heels, and you have heels like this, skinny heels, what happens? Your heel goes down and it gets caught. So I was second in line to practicing. And when I went out, I almost tripped three times. So what they did, they had to make adjustments and then I stopped. I do that now at this age. I said, I'm 70 some years old. And I stopped right there with the producer and I said, and I knew him. I said to him, this is not going to work and it's not going to work for me. I said, because I am not going to come out and fall and hurt myself. But then I was not the only model. Everybody's shoes were getting stuck. But I pointed it out, I said, you need to do something about this. So they went on with the rehearsal, but they changed the whole arrangements where we're walking on carpet. Yeah. Yep. Right. Almost fell 3 times. Yep. 3 times. So it happens, but I have not actually fell to the ground or anything, but I've almost came out my shoes and things like that. It happens. Yeah, yep. It happens. Yeah, it happens.
What, sounds like you've had a very busy summer, still doing the modeling and that kind of thing. Do you have any goals for the next couple of years yet, Carolyn, and things you want to achieve yet, or?
My goal is, if not this year, because I never know what God has for me, but this year, because he's always got something for me, always.
Absolutely.
But I would love to do Paris Fashion Week. That's always been a goal of mine. Paris Fashion Week, because I've pretty well have done so much and have modeled. My idol was Beverly Johnson, who I just worshipped back then. She started it for us, and I did a show for her, and it was just phenomenal. I walked for B. Michaels, who's Cicely Tyson's designer. I walked for him. These are the people that I've
Wow.
walked for that. Yeah, it's been amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
So I can honestly say I did all the things that I really wanted in my book. I achieved those. Yeah. As
That's so
far as
cool.
fashion and I like to Grace Jones. I would love to grace the runway. That's one of my pet peeves is now is Grace Jones walking the runway with Grace Jones.
Right.
I just adore her.
Yeah.
That's one of my goals. Yes.
So cool to be a part of that. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. That's my main goal.
Well,
Grace Jones, to walk the runway with Grace Jones. Yes.
nice. Well, you've
Yes.
hit a lot of them, so
And
I can't see that too far of a stretch.
I've been with Cynthia Bailey also. So I these are the people that I had on my list that I have achieved it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cool.
So yeah. But Grace Jones,
That's a big one.
that's a big one. That's I can't wait.
You're on the right track there anyway.
Yes,
So
I can't wait. Yeah, can't wait.
I know this is kind of those questions I love to ask. It's a little different depending on the stage of life you're in or how much you care about the social media piece. But, if you end up blowing up overnight and all of a sudden you've got like 10 million followers and everybody wants to talk to you and see you and all those things all online and in the world, what's a big message that you just want to send to people?
Don't let that change who you are. No matter how big you get, remember where you started from and who started with you. And that's a main pet peeve of mine. I'm not going to ever forget first God, because he did it all for me.
Sure.
He did it. He will always do it all for me. And then second is who he put in my path to get me to where I am today.
Sure.
I cannot forget them, and I never will forget them, because without them, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Right.
And that's a big, big, big issue to me. Never forget where you started.
Sure.
And how you got where you are.
It's only lonely at the top.
And that'll take you even farther if you do those, if you stick with that.
Sure.
Because I find now that some have gotten into the industry and they're up there now. And another point that I want to make also, when you're getting castings or someone is reaching out to you and I want you to do a casting for them, my pet peeve is to them, do you need any more models? The big issue today is no one wants to share. They want it all for themselves.
Not the truth.
They don't want to share it. And it's an industry that's big enough for everybody.
Sure.
Everybody, but that's not the case.
Right.
They can go for casting and know that I would have loved to have gone for that casting, but they kept it to themselves. And then when you see that person get that casting or for that show, why didn't you let me know? That's a big part of this industry. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guess who you're not going to call next time, right?
Yeah, but I share, unless it's told to me, and it has been told, it's just strictly for you. I have no choice in that instance. But if they said, yeah, sure, then I do. Yeah.
Sure.
I share. I share. It's up to them if they want to go, but at least I shared it.
That's right. Collaboration and connection is one of the biggest things, right? So
yes, I shared it. Yeah.
Cool. No, that's so good. We appreciate that a lot. How do we follow you, Carolyn? If people want to
I'm on,
jump on
Facebook, Carolyn Philips.
Nice.
I'm old school, and my daughter did all this for me, and then the models, they helped me out when we are doing posting of these, because
nice.
I'm just, I'm 73 years. I'm from old school.
Yeah.
But I am on Instagram too.
Cool.
Yeah, Carolyn.Marie.Phillips.5. I am on Instagram. Yeah.
Cool.
But I use mostly Facebook because it's easier for me to.
Sure. Hey, whatever working. If you're on there,
it works
awesome.
for me. Yeah, it works for me. Yes.
Help with the rest. So, final thought that you want to add there.
Yes. This is an industry that you really have to be sincere about, upfront about, and you have to love it. because if you don't, it's not going to work out for you.
Eat you alive.
It's not going to work. Yeah, exactly. It's going to eat you alive. If you're not compassionate about it, don't do it.
Right.
Because you're going to have ups and downs, but it's something that you really want to do and love to do. And I love to do it. Yeah.
Cool.
I
Well,
love it.
thank you so much, Carolyn, for coming on and sharing your story and giving us those details. And again, it's so inspirational to hear people that have hit a lot of those goals and that they're just aiming for a next one still, no matter what stage of life they're at or how long they've been kind of working at this. So thank you for sharing what you did and
Welcome.
giving those tips. So.
Yep. And one more last thing. When I do the shows, they said, this is what we want to see. We want to see somebody my age out there.
Exactly. Here I am, right?
Yes, I love it. Yes, exactly. Yes. But thank you so much for having me.
Nope. So glad you could make it. So
good. Okay. It was nice meeting you.